to the Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Choudhury and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear. Respectfully.
Welcome. All right.
This is episode 6
of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. My name is James Choudhury. I'm a loan officer at United Mortgage. We have a very, very special guest today, but first we'll introduce this guy, Kevin, for some reason.
Kevin Iglesias, associate broker with Realty Connect USA. Today we have a VIP guest. We dropped everything we had to do to make this happen. We have the female Hulk of wholesaling. She's a super mom, super wholesaler. We have Stacey from Choudhury.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What an introduction. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. And we like the green outfit you have
Yes.
on.
We have the whole theme going today.
Really, I figured it was perfect.
So before we even start the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, let's give him like a 5-second, time slot to do that real quick.
Sounds good. I think you gotta spit out your gum.
Or should I throw it at you?
In your palm.
All right. I think we're good. All right. So if you guys did that, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
If you don't, we don't like you.
No, we still like you, but just make sure to do it next time. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it right away. So what is a wholesaler? That's the question that people like. The terminology goes in. We don't know what it 100% is. What is a wholesaler?
So a wholesaler, in short, is somebody who gets an off-market property in contract, and then they typically will assign the contract to an actual buyer.
Gotcha. That sounds so complicated, but like when you like actually look at it, so with what you do, how difficult is it to get through that whole process? Is the most difficult part getting the contract? Is it finding the buyer? Is it what's the most difficult part about it?
So I think depending on where you are and who your network is, finding a buyer, less for me, is really not a problem. But finding sellers, especially with inflated prices right now, is very interesting. I think a lot of sellers don't understand the value of their home, and they're so used to holding on to a non-performing asset, it almost doesn't feel urgent to sell it.
It's more of that emotional attachment, I feel like, right? I'd be like, oh, my house is worth $1 million in a 250 medium range neighborhood. That's what I see. Real estate wise, people just think the home is worth $1 million.
Not only that, but some people just irrationally don't want to have the conversation because they think you're calling with some sort of a scam. Someone yesterday said, I can't sell the house, my tigers and bears live inside. Like, they were just messing with me. And I was just like, go on. Like, I couldn't wait to see what the guy would say next. What
did you say to him?
I was just like, oh, okay. That sounds like the neighbors wouldn't handle it very well. Like,
I would have said tigers and bears. Oh my. Can I purchase tickets to that zoo or, right?
It's not up to me.
If I get the contract, totally.
But what difficulties do you run into, right? Because there's not a lot of wholesalers that are public other than yourself and a few others.
Well, we briefly talked about before that in other states it's a little bit more popular, but in New York there isn't a gigantic wholesale community, in my opinion. I think that there's a lot of people who do it virtually from other states that send deals in this way. But, if there's a ton of wholesalers here in New York, I don't really know them yet, but I would love to. So, I think that, the wholesale community kind of growing right now is really important for this area because there is a wave of distress coming.
Now, all right, so on the
Scary.
agent side, the inventory is so low. Like, even for investors, like foreclosures, short sales that are approved, it's so low. A lot of properties I'm seeing are being sold occupied, which not a lot of people want to get into. Mm-hmm. And when you see like a REO on the market, it's gone, and it's gone for over asking. It's insane right now.
Yeah. Even the renovation I'm working on now, I bought it during the pandemic at a public administrator sale, and I paid way more than I originally intended. And I think that, as far as, getting these deals in contract like that and beating other people for prices, that's always going to be, unfortunately, the off market is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
You know, I actually got a text message from somebody today that said, hey, I was just on the phone with somebody from such and such address. They say you're in contract with them. Like, man, like, literally you just spoke to my homeowner and I only know you from Facebook, you know?
Wow.
So, you know, it can be very cutthroat behind the scenes.
So like with the whole, you know, transition of getting that, you know, seller to get their home purchased. So, you know, in the meantime, when you talk to the seller, you know, you get them to sign a contract, they make an agreement with you. After they sign that agreement with you, do you sell it right away or do you like keep it, hold it for a period of time, like do some renovations and then sell it to somebody else?
So wholesales is very different than fix and flip. I will never do any work on a property or even, I don't really deal with tenants at all personally, but I would never put a dime into a house before closing. And if you're actually going to close on the house, then it's not really a wholesale. You're really buying and flipping, which there's closing costs, carrying costs associated with. Wholesaling is very underestimated because, you know, pushing paper, as people call it in the industry, it's very lucrative and you really only have to invest a small deposit on each contract and you don't have to do any of that, right? And to kind of circle back to what you said before, you know, inventory's low on your guys' side of business.
Yeah.
But a lot of people now are exploring this new thing called hybrid wholesaling, where wholesalers make relationships with someone in the retail market. And if maybe I get a homeowner who's interested in selling, but they would rather take their turn at the market. But I've put work into getting the lead, finding the information, having the sale. Well, I'll partner with you. Maybe you'll list it for 6% and give me some of the money, and we collaborated now.
Oh, okay.
You
That's
know, it's a newer concept that's coming out. But if you Google hybrid wholesaling or go on YouTube, there's a sea of it from people in other states doing it.
Gotcha. So it's going to be happening. It's coming into the market now.
For sure. I mean, I do it actively now in my life.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Wow.
What did you do before this?
So I started off as a bill collector. I
Really?
spent
Oh, wow.
13 years in a call
That's why
center.
your voice sounds familiar.
Uh-oh, did you owe AT&T Wireless some money? Or maybe it was OmniPoint back then, right?
So how is that? That's interesting.
You know, working in a call center at the time seemed crummy, and I was just doing it to pay my college tuition. But present day, it is probably the most of my experience. Forget about college, technical school, anything that I did. I learned the most from my training being a bill collector.
I mean, because you're in the business of wholesaling, right? So you have to do all aspects. You put the signs out. You have to cold call, flyers, mailers, everything.
I do everything except for the bandit signs.
Oh, you don't do the bandit signs?
I think that there's like
I
a
think
lot
you
of...
should start, not to cut you off, do the Hulk bandit signs now.
Oh, no bandit signs. Well, you know, look, you got to go out in the middle of the night. You have to
I know. That's when I see
stick them all over the place. And by the time the morning comes, you have the town calling you with, like, where do I serve you a summons? Because you have a violation. Yeah, you're not, it's hard to know where you are and are not allowed to post these things.
I see them
Gotcha.
everywhere.
All over the place,
Yeah,
right?
me
Like, I
too.
see everywhere, like, Joey buys houses. Like, who is Joey?
I see
Sorry,
Chris buys
Joey.
houses.
Sorry, Joey.
Did you have like a script at the call center that you're working at?
Yeah.
Should we try it out? Can you be you and then I'll be?
Are we doing bill collections
Yeah,
or
bill
wholesale?
collections.
Okay, but we're gonna skip the legal disclosures. You
Okay.
already said, because you have to say a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo ahead.
Yes.
So you're already, hi, yes, I verified who you are.
Sounds good. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
All right, Joe. So this is Joe, correct?
I am Joe.
All right. So I have here a bill for AT&T Wireless. You owe $897.44. I'm here to collect your balance in full. Are you ready to pay by check or credit card today?
800 and what? I think my daughter must have run this bill up. I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. So just so that you understand, you did sign the sales agreement. So regardless of who used the phone, you are responsible for the bill. But I understand your frustration with your daughter. I'll tell you right now, if you go get your checking account, I'll knock 25, maybe 30% off the bill right now, and we can clear your name of this today.
Stacey, I'm not paying. I'm switching to Sprint.
Well, listen, you'll always be able to get another cell phone, but this bill will continue to go up, and it might be a judgment against your credit one day, and then they might be able to attach your assets to get the money back.
Stacey, can I borrow some money to pay this bill? I'll pay you back.
No, but you know what? If you have a family member right now, and I'll give you a 35% settlement, call me back with your friends or family member's checking account. We'll close this up today. You'll be done.
Stacey, stop calling me. Click.
God, he couldn't even let me win. I couldn't even win on the mock call, you guys.
She kept giving me more discounts. I had to exit. That's it.
Well, that's
That was
okay.
good.
When
That
you
was
call back, your settlement is null and void.
Oh man, that was good. That was good. Do you use a script when you cold call, like on the wholesaling aspect?
Well, yes. Not necessarily a script, but I'm a visual person.
Me too.
I forget to say things on the phone. Even if I rehearse, I forget to say stuff. So I do put common objections to rebuttals, common rebuttals, easy to reply to intros, answering machine messages right on a piece of paper in front of me on my wall.
Yeah.
So I could just like read it if I need to.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I'm huge. I love cold calling. Like, again, we spoke before the podcast. I got into business in 2016. All my business was door knocking and cold calling. So I love to do it. And I used to work at a stockbroker firm. They had me cold calling
Oh,
nonstop.
yeah. So you were in like a pit.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And I would call people nonstop. So I got really used to it. And it's fun. I like it. You know, a lot of people are scared of it. But I think once you find that confidence in cold calling, you go there. If they give you an appointment in these times, most likely the listing is yours now, right? Because timing is so valuable nowadays.
Getting somebody to show you the house is key.
Yep.
And I say this to everybody, you know, during every cold call class or any training I've ever given, ever, the first thing the first student says is, I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to have that feeling of someone hanging up on me. And the unfortunate truth is it's your rite of passage. If you don't do it, if you don't get rejected 600 times a week, you're not going to have successful cold call campaigns.
I think in order to succeed in life, you have to fail multiple times.
For sure. And calling people that aren't expecting your call is like you're kind of on the offense anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you have it's part of it. You have to deal with it. And I think it's a good point that you make that cold calling is here to stay. You've been doing it since you're 16. You're still doing it now, right?
Oh, not since I'm 16. Since 2016.
Oh, 2016. Okay.
I wish. Shoot. I'd be in the Bahamas somewhere right now.
Yo, I think that with the biggest thing with like cold calling is that you either pay to have your phone ring or you gotta ring it yourself. Like you can spend so much money advertising and stuff like that. That'll make your phone ring. If you're not gonna spend money on that, you gotta do it yourself.
Quick story. Him and I met through cold calling.
Okay.
I rejected him a million times.
Yeah, but yo, I don't say no. I go after you. That's it. I mean, that's what it takes, you know?
Right. I understand you declined, but I'll call you back tomorrow.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm blowing him off. I don't want to talk to this kid. He was so annoying. No, but he was very persistent. And persistence is key in this business.
Follow-up game, yeah.
Yeah, following up is the biggest thing in the real estate industry.
For sure.
So I respected that. And I was like, you know what? Let's meet. And we met at like Dunkin' Donuts.
And then it was a love story.
And now we have our own podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I pick on him on every episode. So.
Well, I mean,
And sometimes I don't have things to say back, but you know, I'm a lover. That's just what it is.
Not a fighter. So let's dive into, because you said, obviously people think when they go on YouTube, right? Everybody is like, oh, wholesale this, wholesale that. You'll make $100,000 in less than a year, this and that. Is it really as easy as it seems on YouTube?
so true and false. True that you can make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in a year. False that it's easy.
Okay.
All right. You could have some months where you make nothing and then walk into a single month and make 100. Yeah, and it rains everywhere. And, you know, and then you could be 6 months without anything after that. You know, there's also a certain amount of fail that happens with with the files. Some wholesalers only do short sales. Some only do other things. You know, I try to diversify so I don't have those issues. But, you know, the conversion rate is tough. It's a lot of work.
And you have to be a hustler, you know? You have to really hustle and be persistent. Question, now, what is the process of a wholesale deal? Like let's say you find somebody who wants to sell the home. Can you walk us through that process and, you know?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
So the first thing is usually for me the cold call.
Okay.
Or an email or a mailer. contact. Once they say, yes, I'm interested, an offer is made. Once the offer is made, hopefully they accept. And then you move to contract. And then now we got to do title work. Maybe there's a short sale. There could be a 1 to 12 month road to walk down. And then hopefully you have a closing with a buyer. I don't have this right now, but the biggest wholesalers have departments that do all their processing.
Okay.
Right now I am kind of a one-man show. I'm doing all of the processing, all of the title clearance, but the goal would be to have the wholesaler get the deals in contract, maybe work on any difficult issues that come up, but also have title clearance, short sale processing, maybe a department to deal with tenants, stuff like that. You know, it's good to not spread yourself too thin because there is a lot of moving parts, and these properties might fail. You might not get a short sale approval. You might lose the homeowner in the meantime. Man.
So with these properties, do you order the title bill right away and then you wait until it comes back and then you make your offer, I'm assuming? Is that how it works?
No, because look, you know, God bless these title companies. Like, a lot of them are willing to make relationships with people like me and not charge me up front to start a title search. But
Gotcha.
I'm not willing to spend their time to do that for me until at least I have a binding contract.
Gotcha.
You know, and
okay.
you keep the deposits small so you're not really financially strapped down. And it is what it is anyway. Most of these houses are negative equity regardless. So it's not like there's anything wrong with that.
All right. So one thing I want to dive into is, like, how long do you have to wait in order for that deal to close? Because, like, on our side, it's probably like 45 to 60 days now. It used to be like 30 before COVID. Everything was quick.
We're getting quicker now, though, thankfully. Yeah. But, like, when the summer happens, it's going to be crazy. But that was a little bit of a sidetrack. But, yeah, I mean, how long does it usually take?
I think it depends on what type of sale it is. I think that if it's a straight sale and there's a deal, like, yes, I'll accept $5 for that house. Okay, we're in contract. I'll close as fast as a title will come in.
Gotcha.
But if it's a short sale, depending on the bank, I mean, it could be like a long...
There's nothing short about a short sale.
No, there isn't. I don't know who came up with that name, but, like, it can be very long. And sometimes the bank will drag you through 12 months and be like, you know what, we're not going to approve it.
I know. I've done short sales myself and negotiated directly with the bank, and it's time consuming.
For sure. It's very hard to be the listing agent and the negotiator.
Yeah.
So one thing that I did want to cover, because obviously we do have some people who are watching the show that don't know all the terms. So can one of you guys give me a definition of a short sale?
When the bank will accept less than what is owed based on the value of the home.
The owner's basically going through a hardship, you know, so they're paying off that debt, and yeah, it's not easy at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I can tell how difficult it is, but that's something that, like, I don't know. Hopefully nobody has to go through. You know, I mean, we saw that in like 2008.
Well, we're going to start to see it a lot more now. You know,
yeah, my prediction is that there's going to be a new wave. Like, the courts aren't really moving yet. There's no new foreclosure filings, but there's people out there. There's attorneys' offices stacking the complaints, waiting for them to be filed. It's coming.
It's going to be a huge wave. Now, not to feed on anybody's hardships, but those are the times when it's really beneficial for investors and wholesalers, right? Because you have to go after those properties and make money.
Yes, and, you know, this is a gray area, right? You know, a lot of people will say, how could you choose a job where you prey on other people's hardship? And I'm going to say that I respectfully disagree with that point of view, because if you think about it, there's a mutual need. That homeowner is in distress, and I want houses off market. So why can't we make each other happy? Why does it have to be that I'm getting a leg up on someone's unfortunate situation? Like, I think that, you know, it's almost like bringing a service to people that need it. If you could kind of change the way wholesaling is viewed, I think that's what it should be.
Yeah. I think you're really paying for convenience. Like, I think that's really what it is. And a service, yeah. Because think about it, if certain people, you know, they don't have the funds to get something done, you can provide that. I agree with you completely.
Think about it. Just if somebody's in a hardship, a seller, right? And they have no money, they don't have any family. Stacey gives them a call and say, hey, look, you know, we can sell the home so you don't go into more financial hardship. Why not? You know, she's helping them out. And at the end of the day, everybody does a job that has to get paid.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes even like when the situations are more difficult, like let's forget about foreclosures because, you know, some people are embarrassed. but sometimes there's loss in the family, and it could be as basic as the children can't afford a funeral or whatever it is. Like, sometimes the need is really there.
Yeah. What ways, like, what do you exactly do? So a lot of people drive for dollars. Do you drive for dollars?
I certainly drive
Yes?
for dollars.
Awesome. So those great houses that you guys see, you basically find that information, you call, and get information on that, correct?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, just this week, it's funny that we're talking about this because my friend and I worked together for Olex, and we drove for dollars and found a house in 2018, and this week we put it in contract.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't let leads die. If they're
Good.
not a deal today, maybe they'll be when I'm older, I don't know, someday in the future, but they do not die in my CRM.
Good, good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very
CRMs
important.
are so important. Honestly, that's just something that shows that.
Do you send like an email blast? Do you follow up? Like, what is that process for you, like that CRM process?
So I don't think people respond to emails on my end of the market. I wish they did more, but they're very few and far between. I think text messaging is my biggest response rate because maybe like they're embarrassed that they're in debt, but they're willing to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, so the text messaging is cool. And then for the most part, it's phone calls. I used to do a ton of mailers. I'm kind of like on a 0% response rate on printed mailers, but I used to also spend, when my business wasn't so busy, I would do handwritten letters to the houses I
make it more
really
personable.
wanted. Like,
Gotcha.
you know, but that's
Which is smart.
it's a lot of time though. You
is a
can't
lot.
handwrite everybody a letter.
Yeah. You should have a template. Hey, so and so.
But then it's not handwritten.
Switch the names.
Yeah, right.
What do you do when you find a house, that's boarded up, and like, what is that process? Do you go to public records? Like, what basically do you do?
So I like to use PropStream. I know there's like a lot of public information, real estate data gathering websites, but I like PropStream, especially because there's an app. And while I'm driving, I could snap the picture and go into PropStream and start my research actively right there. You could even skip trace directly from there.
Oh, so like it has a dialer basically?
No, but you could hit skip trace and it spits back the information. Like you could
Oh,
literally
okay.
find the house and sit there with PropStream and find the information, call them, and like not even have to drive away.
Really? So on our side, we have a program like HomeSnap, I think, does the same thing.
Okay.
Like you take a picture of the house, it gives you the information, and sometimes it gives you the numbers. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
There's a lot of good services out there. As a matter of fact, now post-pandemic, because so many people are like the remote work world is
Yeah.
exploding, there are some really crazy platforms that are going to come out over the next 6 months.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Everything's changing now. And you either have to adapt or die, basically. You have to, be willing to change with the times, or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, for sure. You got to get on board with being as technologically savvy as you possibly can. I even think that like having, a podcast or a good social media presence, it helps with the homeowner relationships too, because even the people that tell me like, I tell them like, all
You have to
right,
blur those faces.
sorry. Even though like,
Damn, she gave two. One for you and one for me.
I did. Sorry, guys. I think that, any homeowner that's like, you're a scam, don't call me. That I always tell them, look, I understand. I'm sorry to upset you. Check me out on Instagram. And some of them actually do, and they come back.
Let me check her Insta.
Yeah.
Please hold.
Please don't.
like. But no, social media is a big thing. And this guy basically like peer pressured me to get on social media because I was never on it.
I don't understand why you weren't. I mean, like Kevin was getting these crazy, like cool videos. He's posting them on YouTube. I mean, YouTube's obviously great, but there's so much, untapped space in like Instagram and Facebook. I think Instagram right now is the biggest thing. Like, I think like out of all social media platforms, everyone wants to like circle their followers back to Instagram, and it's just like a huge funnel. It's just like you find people on TikTok,
Yeah.
Clubhouse, YouTube, whatever it is, Facebook, and they just all funnel back to Instagram.
Yeah.
I feel like.
It's one big networking place, I mean, I was just very low key. I like to just make my money, stay low key, and that's it. But obviously, like I said, you have to adapt. And now we have our own podcast, so it's exciting.
It's not even just that. Like, imagine every other person that's like more green, less experienced than you, that will watch your podcast after you. Maybe they will also be like, man, maybe I should do that. You know, like it's not just about like your business, and maybe you're happy with your income and whatever it is. Maybe you make more money than everybody, but
I'm broke.
maybe, you know.
Are you hiring?
Yes, I am actually, since you like to
Yo,
cold
put your
call.
applications in Olex
Call
properties.
Olex.
Yes, we'll plug our information towards the end.
You know, I think that there's something to be said for, like, you know, high school kids and people who are up and coming or afraid to like take that step into, you know, a field where you're essentially working for yourself and you might not get paid today or tomorrow or the next day. And every one of us that puts a little bit more content out helps that movement of the younger people to come up.
It's true. I mean, like I said, I'm not, I just got onto social media like, a month ago? And what I do now is I do like a lot of top producer tips where I give tips and people comment back like, oh, this is so good. You know, this motivates me or this gives me confidence. So they ask me questions. So it's pretty cool. You know, you get to give that motivation out and that information to somebody who may be needing it.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, our editor Mike is a young guy too. So I know he was talking about like high schoolers and things like that. This guy does all of our work and he's amazing.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Again, don't look for him, all right? We will not show him on camera. He's our secret weapon.
Oh, okay.
He's trapped.
So have you seen like some of the people? Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not.
All right, so there's basically like this one dude who I always see on TikTok talking about real estate wholesaling. I think his name is Kong. So basically what he does is he basically like motivates like a younger audience
Sure.
to like get into real estate wholesaling.
Sure.
He makes it seem very easy, kind of like what Kevin was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, oh yeah, you can do it. Like anybody can do it. Just go find a property and literally just sell it. And like, I feel like it's not as simple as it might seem to be on his page, but I think there is some sort of like clarity there where like you can make money. I mean, obviously, you know, we have you on the show right now in front of us and you're somebody who's telling us that you can do it. But I don't know, it's just interesting how like we were talking about like the whole college thing and like how now, you know, these social media platforms are kind of just like taking over, like they're telling people like don't go to college or just do this, and people are listening, you know, and they're looking for more people in that industry to like follow and like learn from. You know?
I agree and I disagree with that approach. I think that I would have done quite a bit for somebody to teach me about this part of the world or to teach me anything about real estate, for crying out loud. Like I didn't even leave college knowing what a mortgage was or how to file my income tax. Like any of these things. I didn't know what an LLC was. I feel like these are basic things that professionals need to know, like kind of industry wide, not even just industry wide, like entrepreneur wide, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I disagree with wholesalers making it perceived as easy because it's not just about find a house, convince the seller. Like you have to understand seller psychology. You have to understand
People,
right?
personalities.
You have to have sales skills. Even when you have them, you have to develop them. So it's about so much more than just learning about a house that has boards on the windows. You have to learn like a whole bunch of areas to be really great at it.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like with the whole presence online, everyone's kind of just like flaunting money and just like, oh, look
Everybody's
at my new car.
rich
Like,
on Instagram.
yeah.
Super rich.
Except for me. I'm broke, yeah.
I mean, I'm driving a Nissan Altima and I got a broken front bumper and I'm proud of it because all of my money goes back into the business and I don't got to front for anybody.
Good. I mean, and you touch base on things, right? LLCs, knowing real estate, mortgages, financing. They don't teach us that in school.
No.
In high school, which...
Did you learn it in college? Did any...
Well, I dropped out of college.
Well,
my
I
first
did
month
too.
in.
Don't even worry about it. 4-time dropout, guys. And that's why you could be successful. Like, you know, I think the message shouldn't be you don't have to go to college. It should be if college don't work out for you, you are not a failure.
Yeah.
You have other options, and there's an endless sea of them that nobody taught you.
Yeah.
I think it's that pressure that society gives you. Like, if you don't go to college, you're basically a failure. But there's so many, we talked about this on the last episode.
Sure.
So many people who didn't go to college who are like millionaires, billionaires, who make 6 figures a year, you know, doctor salaries without having that degree. And do you need a license to be a wholesaler?
No. You can get a real estate license if you want, but I prefer not to. I think it limits me.
Okay. Interesting. Limit you as far as...
So, you know, there's the moratorium on licensed realtors cold calling right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me.
Oh, so you can cold call basically. Yeah, Kumo keeps extending that out every
I have no idea. I'm unaffected. And stuff like that. Like, you guys could never go knock on somebody's door that already has a realtor assigned. I can. I can market to whoever I wish. I don't have to check ahead of time if they're signed with a realtor. While I do go out of my way to avoid those things because I don't want extra layers in my deals, I think that I would rather partner with realtors and look at that hybrid model because I'm just going to cover more of Long Island that way.
I've never heard of that hybrid model before today, but that does definitely seem very interesting. But, I really do want to know, like, what does your schedule look like? You do a lot of different things. Like, how
She's
does
a super wholesaler / super mom, 2 kids. How did the
kids.
name Olex even come about as well?
So my older son is Oliver. My younger son is Alex. And Olex.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Sorry to cut you off in your question, so let's go back to that.
No worries.
We usually don't care what James says anyway.
I care.
Thank you. Somebody cares. Mike, do you care?
No.
You don't.
So what's your everyday schedule
Yeah.
look like? Back to James.
So, I get up before my family. I usually do what I can in the computer quietly while I try not to wake anybody. I try to exercise during that time where it's like still dark in the morning because you need that for your mind. And then I get kids off to school. My kids wake up, they got to have breakfast, they got to get showered, they got to go to school. And then I come home and I do what I have to do with, my investors or whoever else that I need to talk to. I hit the phones for a few hours. Then I go and I pick them up from school. Then I hang out with them and I do snack and whatever. And then I do evening smile and dial until like 7:30. And then whatever administrative tasks. And some days I even figure out how to squeeze in education and I don't even know when.
That sounds
Yeah, that
Some
sounds
days
like
I even squeeze in showers. I wash my hair some days. It's a lot.
I'm stressed out just hearing.
I'm just like, wait, what? All right, so I wake up, shower,
do
go
nothing.
to work, and then I eat like 4 burgers, and then I go back to work, and then I go to sleep.
Wait, what are your favorite burger toppings?
Honestly, mozzarella cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
See that reaction? That's not a good
All
reaction.
right, so on my burgers,
Only mozzarella cheese?
you see why I look at this? Like, I don't need lettuce, I don't need tomatoes, I don't need any of that stuff. So I eat like, all right, this is so weird. I eat my burgers with mozzarella cheese and like ketchup.
Yo, I beat my addiction to ketchup. I was a ketchup addict for so many years, and I just dropped it.
Wait, thumbs down on ketchup with mozzarella, first of all. And
I'm sorry. I'm not Italian. I don't even say it properly. All my friends are Italian. They're just like, stop saying mozzarella. It's mozzarella. I'm just like, all right, yo, say my name properly next time then.
you have to do this when you say
Mozzarella.
it.
They're literally all my friends. And sometimes I'm just like, yo, come on, you couldn't even. I legally changed my name. We never talked about this.
Oh,
but
you want to talk about this?
No.
Yeah,
That's
let's talk
another
about
topic. But my name, I changed my name from Bashal to James, and my friends would like pronounce my last name completely wrong, and like they're like pronounce it mozzarella, but then they pronounce my last name like my last name's Choudhury, and they butcher it completely. I was like, all right, pronounce my name correctly too, then, bro.
What would they say?
Like
I don't even
chowder.
Yeah, something like that. I don't even know. No, they're my
Choudhury.
boys. Shout out to all my Italian boys.
I feel really Italian tonight. Today we had pizza before the podcast.
Yes, we did
I'm in a
pizza Friday.
jumpsuit.
You are in a jumpsuit.
I
So
ate
very
none of it because I'm on keto diet.
Forget
I'm
about
on keto. You're gonna see throughout the podcast. I'm gonna be slimming down until like I get to the point where I don't want to anymore, and then I might go off track. But by June, I'll be in good shape.
You mean when you get sick of having bread with mayo and cheese on top?
No bread. Just burger with the mozzarella. No burger at all. I mean, no bun. Yo, okay, it's really weird. Just trust me. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
We're gonna see. We're gonna come back in 6 months
I'm
and
gonna-
see if you're still doing it.
Is that
literally.
kosher?
I don't think so.
Nah.
It's not. One of my best friends in college. We used to go to burger spots all the time, and he could not have the burgers with the cheese. He'd have to have it separately.
Yeah, no dairy and meat.
Yeah. So, I don't eat kosher. I'm Muslim. So, but I do have to eat halal. But I don't do that. I should start though.
I'm Jewish and I don't eat kosher because I like bacon.
I can't even eat bacon. That's the one thing I don't do. Like, I mean,
I've seen you eat bacon.
when have you seen me eat bacon?
I'm not gonna put it out in the public.
You've
now.
never seen me
You
eat
just
bacon.
aired him out. You were just like, bust. Like,
I need some proof of this. My dad
You have
watches
to
the
take a picture
podcast.
next
He's lying.
time.
Don't listen to him.
Sorry, Dad.
He's gonna get kicked out when he gets home.
But I don't eat bacon. But no, honestly, that's I don't know what we were talking about. We went on a tangent. I said I eat my.
See, this is the thing about the podcast. It always goes so unexpected. That's like this wasn't on the script. But then again, we don't have a script.
That's true. But now I just feel like we have to do a show where we each make our own burger and we do like our favorite toppings and we do like a comparison. I'm just like, now I need to know like what a mozzarella ketchup burger
All right.
is like.
When you try it, it'll be good.
I know.
Trust
I'm
me.
going to have to report back.
I don't eat meat. So
All
sorry.
right. Well,
sorry.
You
we'll
don't
give
party
your ass a veggie
pooper.
burger.
I've
I don't
actually
eat
only
red
seen him
meat.
eat one time. I've only seen you eat one time in my life for some odd reason. Like after the open house, I'm like, yo, you want to grab something to eat? I mean, he doesn't like me, so he doesn't want to eat with me anyway. But like, he never
This is
eats.
business only. I told you that.
Super professional.
Right? Stop calling me at night, okay? It's awkward.
I'm sorry.
What were we even talking about before? I have no idea where we were.
We were talking about my day and
There
my
it goes.
kids.
What music do you listen to when you work out?
So if you go on Spotify, there's two channels in particular that I like. There's one called Electronic Focus, and there's one called Focus Flow. There's actually some psychology behind it about why it's enjoyable to listen to, but motivates you to focus on your tasks for the day. I don't really know more than that about it, but I do know that like you'll find me at my desk like this.
Can you give us like a rhythm, a beat, or something that's similar?
Like imagine 6 a.m. after hours lounge music.
So like elevator music?
No, but like, yeah, like elevator music plus electronic music.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I listen to a thing called Brain Food on Spotify.
That's
and
exactly
I literally,
what it is.
yeah, I can get through my work. I just have it like plugged in when I'm like, because it doesn't distract you, but like it's just something that like fills in whatever, like the empty space.
I listen to Ariana Grande, so I can't relate to you guys.
I'm not surprised.
No, I have to listen to like very like violent rap music when I work out.
Wait, hold on. Nothing against Ariana Grande. She's awesome.
But I listen to like DMX.
Yeah, I mean, the
And-
gym, when you work out, that's
Yeah.
something much different. I do think I listen to some very ignorant stuff in the gym.
I do too, but I'm honestly like changing how I look at just music in general. Like obviously music is cool like when you're going out, like when you're at the gym, but honestly like I feel like I've come to a point where it's just like I'm not learning anything from what these people, because I used to listen to like a lot of rap. I'm not really learning anything from what they're telling me. They're just like, oh, I have girls, I have money, I have drugs, like, and you don't. That's what they're saying.
This
a
is
lot
a
of it.
family show.
All right,
like-
we'll bleep out that one part. But what I have been doing is like kind of like what started us too is like I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to things that like I may not have known in the past. So like while I'm driving, because I do drive a lot, like I'm just like plugged into a podcast, just like listening while I'm driving. And instead of like me getting told like, oh, I have more money than you, I'm just like, let me show you. I'm listening to something that says like, let me show you how to make money or how to learn this or that.
How to make money.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Isn't it amazing how you can have nothing to do today and you could like basically go to school on your phone with YouTube
Everything's
and
so
with
virtual
podcasts?
nowadays.
Other people's podcasts. Like sometimes if I need ideas for lead generation, I literally go into Spotify podcasts and I just type in lead generation, and other people's podcasts come up and other people's ideas are out there. It's right there for the taking. You just like have to have the resourcefulness and the initiative to pick this up.
Yeah.
Everything, this phone has so much power.
Yeah, but people are like steady busy taking selfies with it.
Yeah.
There's.
Are you throwing shade? I was taking so many selfies.
I mean,
before.
I
was like,
definitely took a selfie or two today because I have the Hulk dress on, but, that's not the only use for it. I mean, you could have a podcast from your phone and not have a mic or a studio. You could get education endlessly on your phone. You could network on your phone. I think it's a not always used the way it should be.
True. Two things I want to get into. Back to our gym session thing we were talking about. One random fact: I growl to motivate myself when I'm working.
No.
What?
Do you make a noise
I
when you
growl like a dog. I'm telling you, when I listen to DMX, I like become like, yo, prayers up to DMX. He's in the
Yeah.
hospital right now, man.
That's
Yeah,
true.
prayers
Prayers up.
Prayers
For
up.
sure.
For sure. We'll play a little DMX clip on that.
Yeah.
All right.
We need like a little
Yeah. Yeah, no, really, I growl.
Yo, you're so weird. You're so
Yo,
weird.
I
So
growl.
accurate though. Did
Yo,
you hear
but
it?
can you imagine Kevin in a corner?
No,
Like,
seriously, that's what I
like
do when I'm
growling?
working out. Yo, people look at me like I'm weird, but honestly,
Because you
like,
are weird. What do you mean?
Yeah, because if he works out at
just-
Planet Fitness, you know that lunk bell is going off.
Oh,
every
it gets set off
time.
by Kevin growling.
Yeah.
Yo, gotta get these reps up.
Yeah, right?
That's what
DMX
you look like?
goes by in the background. Like.
Other thing I wanted to jump into is podcasts. You have your own podcast as well.
Yes, I do.
Can you dive into that?
So I don't know really why I started the podcast, but I knew I wanted to meet like everybody. And I thought that it was a good way to kind of start talking about like who I am. You know, putting myself out there started with the Red House, hashtag the Red House. If you guys don't see it online, go there on Instagram. And after I got a certain amount of followers, viewers from what I was putting out about the Red House, I was like, man, like I have more stuff to talk about. Like I'm just going to start a show where I invite guests and do this. I'm going to get to know everybody and I'm going to do it on camera.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to market and for people to see your personality, right?
Sure.
Because everybody looks at us like salespersons, right? And we're so much more than that. I mean, at least I think I am.
Oh, you are.
My mom says. All right. But what's next for your podcast? Like, when is your next episode?
So I have a bunch of guests lined up. There'll be a new look to the podcast. There's a lot of
Makeover.
stuff. Yeah, a little bit of a makeover. But I don't know if I'm ready to reveal. I think we're gonna have to do mystery.
Mystery. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. We like that. We gave this whole podcast room a makeover as well. We started with a green screen, and we didn't like it, so we just gave it this whole beautiful new look.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of cameras. I feel like we're superstars. Yeah.
Yo, honestly, I'm so surprised that we actually, like, Kevin and I, when we started our podcast, he was like, yo, we should start talking about what we do, like, our phone calls, because, like, we're literally on the phone for, like, a half an hour, like, at a time.
Not
we're
by
just like-
choice.
It's by choice for me, bro. But what we do is we're literally just, like, talking about it. I was like, yo, you really think people want to listen to us being idiots for, like, 30 minutes straight? But then I came to the conclusion that, like, we actually do, like, we talk, we have fun, you know, we talk about things that people need to know about,
Sure.
and, like, you know, informative topics. So we have, like, the middle of both, you know? So, like, that's like, kind of, like, the field we were going for. And, you know, it's like we have people like you who are, like, you know, you have both sides. You have a personality, and, like, you know, you also are a monster in the industry that you're in, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, but whenever someone says that to me, I say, I'm not a monster yet, but I promise you in a year I will be.
I know you will.
Goals. Hashtag.
Goals. Hashtag goals.
Yes. So we've been doing this giveaway, right? And we're gonna pick the winner. We announced we partnered up with Inspection Boys.
Yeah, I'm going to
And
pick the winner.
today, yes. So we wanted to announce that. We don't want people to think that it's biased, you know, or we have favorites or whatever. But shout out to all the people who definitely joined the raffle. We have all your names in this cup right here. And instead of us picking it, you'll pick it.
Okay.
And I just want to, like, dump it out, you know, just so it's
Okay.
like.
They all have my name on it.
Cool.
He's not in
My name.
it. So please do us the honors.
The winner is Fernando.
Reseño.
Yeah, Fernando. There you go.
Congratulations. Mazel tov.
So thanks for being a part of that. Fernando, not only do you win, shout out to everybody else who entered, but you also get to be on our, what is it, 7th, 8th episode, right? Yes?
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, we'll be interviewing him. And yeah, pretty exciting, pretty
Yeah,
dope.
that is awesome.
Yeah, so thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out to James, too. James Hogan from EXP, always tuning in.
Yes.
Always showing love.
Man.
So we want to ask you, our producers here ordered this, and it's just random questions.
Okay.
So
And
she has to pick up her kids. We have to do this quickly. We have to do a rapid
fire?
question.
All
Yeah.
right, I'm ready
You
for
go
it.
first.
I'm
All
ready
right.
for it. How many we doing? 5?
Yes.
5. We're ready.
All right. I thought this was worse than it actually is. All right. So, what would be one good thing about being the opposite sex?
I would pee standing up.
Also, these are women empowering cards.
Yeah, this is inspiring women table topics. All right, questions.
Inspiring.
Questions to start great conversations. All right, rapid question number 2. What women's health issue would you most like to spread awareness about?
I think that women don't have enough options and enough doctors that are honest with them about their options for birth control, and not enough doctors give women the birth control they ask for.
I like that one. All right. Well, all right. So, which disease would you most like to find the cure for?
That's heavy.
That's a heavy one, and I think that being a Long Island woman, I think the only top of my head answer is breast cancer because it's really most prevalent here.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Before you even said that, I had that in my mind. I feel like she was going to say breast cancer.
It's more densely here than anywhere.
All right, next question.
Ready. Number 4.
Number 4. If you were offered a seat on the next space flight, would you take it?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't either.
Why not?
I don't even like going on roller coasters.
All right, how about this?
No.
You pick one, and I'll read it to you.
Why can't I read it?
Because I don't want you to read it. All right. Which moment from your childhood do you draw on when you want to feel strong?
When I want to feel strong.
That's deep.
I can barely read.
So when my mom met my stepfather, I was only 5 years old, and he said, when he proposed to my mom, he said, I want to be with you and Stacey forever. And looking back on it as an adult, I think that is the strongest thing, to just be like, I want to take on your kid. You have a whole kid, and I'm going to be their parent. And that is like the baddest ass thing to me in the whole world.
Oh, that's
deep.
Wait, I'm going to ask one, Kevin.
That's deep.
All right, Kevin.
Why?
Kevin.
Come on.
If you were, you know what? Let's just go with this. Have you found your deeper powers within yourself during a challenging time?
Have I found my deeper? Yeah. I mean, one thing I love is rebuttals. I love going against people who tell me no and turning that no into a yes. And like
feeling,
it is. It's awesome. Because I train other agents too, and people on my team, and I mentor them as well. And that's one thing I teach them is like confidence is the biggest thing to have in this business. Once you have the confidence down, you'll feel like the Hulk.
And you'll make other people have confidence.
Yep. And then you can do anything in the world. Like be like Stacey from One Talk.
Yeah.
I want to be like you guys.
Yo, somebody asked me a question. I didn't get one.
All right. Who's the kindest person you know? I am. Right there. Done.
All right. The kindest person I know too many. So I'm not going to answer that question because there's so many kind people in the world. So
You're a softie.
I guess. Yo, I'm 6'2". I bench 265, but I will give love to everyone.
Teddy bear status.
My girlfriend just got a dog, and his name is Teddy, and he's actually the cutest thing in the world.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a little Peekapom. It's like so tiny.
Peekapom.
Yeah, Peekagese Pomeranian. All right, real quick. I'm just gonna. You could see this.
Dog.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That dog looks like one of those cats that remember Angry Cat? Well, who was Angry Cat?
It's like it's so tiny. It's literally like.
All right, way off topic. Anyways, we appreciate you coming by and giving us your
inviting
time.
There's another one.
Oh,
Nobody
nice.
cares.
That's cute.
Oh, wow, that is cute.
Yeah,
No,
there
that's a cute
I
dog.
changed my mind.
I changed my mind too.
That dog is not made up. It's the cutest thing I've seen.
Yeah, no, that's a
today.
very cute dog. I'm sorry for what I said.
It's okay. She's gonna watch this episode and be like, "Oh my gosh, how could you say that about Teddy?"
Teddy's gonna be like, "Why are they talking to me like this?"
Why?
So thank you again for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
We've had a really good time. Signing out.
All right, so James Choudhury, United Mortgage. Follow me on Instagram. Find me on Facebook. Financed by James.
Kevin Iglesias, associate broker. You'll have my information pop up here. Once again, Stacey, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. If you
Episode
have
6.
Thank you. And if anybody has a house that's falling down or actively on fire right now, call me at 516-526-0881.
Say that to the camera. There you go. Pitch it.
516-526-0881.
There you
There
go.
Episode 6.
Thank
Cue the outro.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Choudhury and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good. You might want to tell your ex. See you next time.